This is Michael Popok. You're on the new Legal AF MTN YouTube channel. So take a minute, hit the subscribe button, bring some friends, have them do the same thing as we're building this pro-democracy channel in collaboration with who else? Midas Touch Network. I got to talk about the Fifth Circuit and the Dreamers Act. And once again, the Fifth Circuit, which is not only way out there at the extreme and a MAGA-dominated, Trump-dominated appellate circuit, but now, of course, they're taking a look at immigration policy again, all the way back to Barack Obama. And I'm going to talk about the three-judge panel that's just heard a new case as to whether to end the Deferred Action for Children Arrivals, DACA, D-A-C-A, which at one point covered 800,000 people, now down to 560,000 people who came here as children. No other country than the United States whose parents work and pay taxes, and whether we're going to deport them as a country as part of immigration policy and lack of caring and dignity. We're going to deport them to a country that they don't even know because they are Americans. They are Texans, as one of the members of the three-judge panel reminded one of the advocates that were arguing against it. You're talking about deporting Texans that know no other life but the one here. Now, how do we get here? Then I'll talk about the three-judge panel. We have a Houston-based federal court judge who in 2018 got a case brought by Texas and other red MAGA states. Judge Hannon ruled that he ruled a couple of things that were bad. One, he found that Texas and the other states had standing. In order to get a ticket into the courthouse and even raise these arguments, you have to fundamentally get over the first hurdle. That's standing. That's an injury that's unique to you that you can tie to this action or this statute. And Texas was struggling with, well, there's a financial crisis. We've got extra people here we didn't want, balanced against their parents who are working and paying taxes. So standing is an issue. The judge, lower court judge, found standing, found that Barack Obama, who passed DACA in 2008, had no constitutional authority to do so as president of the United States, that he was unconstitutional, and that when Biden tried to extend it and has extended it, that was unconstitutional and violated administrative procedure law and the will of Congress. That's a lot, okay? So a bunch of states, primarily in Democratic areas like New Jersey and others, all intervened in the case in favor of keeping DACA up and running and protecting these children. Some of these children are now in their 30s. You know, DACA covers up to the age of 31 as long as you came with your family as babies or children. So this isn't nothing. It also is a reflection of the lack of caring and compassion within the Republican Party that all Ken Paxton, the Attorney General of Texas, and all Abbott, the governor, and all these other red states care about, and regardless of who they hurt, is locking up children in cages during an immigration process and throwing them out of the only country that they know and love to go back to a country they don't remember or were not necessarily born in. Well, if they weren't born there, they were born here, they're American citizens, but they might have come here as infants, as babies, and only know America and the American way of life. The three-judge panel concerns me, and the oral argument discussions concern me. You've got Judge Higginson, who's an Obama appointee. I don't worry about him. He's already off on the proper analysis, I think, that Texas and the other states don't have standing, citing to a case at the United States Supreme Court that also slapped back the Fifth Circuit. I'll talk about that in a minute, and said, no, you went too far. You have to find standing, and you don't have. We don't want the federal courts to be used to create immigration policy that doesn't exist, right? To use it as a way to usurp immigration policy, which is the province of the president of the United States and of Congress, through federal courts. So we don't want that. So there's no standing in a recent immigration case. Citing that, Judge Higginson, one of the three judges, the Obama appointee, said, I don't know how they have standing. What is their injury that they're claiming comes directly from DACA, the program? Then you have Judge Jerry Smith, who's a Reagan appointee. He's not buying, apparently, the standing argument. He's like, well, I don't understand a standing argument, and I don't think that's what the Supreme Court recently ruled. So let's get beyond standing. So he wants to get to the merits. And then the third vote is not great. It's Edith Brown Clement. And Edith Brown Clement, who was a George W. Bush appointee, she had been shortlisted for the United States Supreme Court under Bush and others. She's not MAGA, but she is right of center, almost alt-right. So I'm not confident about the Fifth Circuit. My gut is they will, that Higginson's going to lose 2-1. And they're going to find that Judge Hannon's original decision finding Barack Obama's action to create DACA unconstitutional. And they're going to, of course, find that Joe Biden couldn't reinstall the program or expand the program because the program was void ab initio, as we say in the law. It was dead on arrival. DACA, dead on arrival. Now, I've done already a hot take and along with court accountability about the Fifth Circuit. The Fifth Circuit is a scary hellscape of circuit courts. It is dominated by Trumpers. I'm surprised there's none on this panel. 6 out of the 17 on the panel are Trump appointees. And they are rapidly taking over because the other ones from Bush and Reagan they're like dying off, leaving MAGA in control. There's a reason that the United States Supreme Court has 7 different cases already from the Fifth Circuit up on appeal to the United States Supreme Court. And it's not because they always make a lot of errors, although they do. Last year, out of the 11 cases that came up from the Fifth Circuit to the Supreme Court, even the alt-right was like, no, and denied 8 out of the 11. But that hasn't stopped MAGA from coming up through Texas and finding these Trumper judges, including the one in Abilene, Texas, who sits by himself, Judge Kaczmarek, and then get to the Fifth Circuit, which is a friendly environment for them, and then try to get to the Supremes. They try all sorts of fringe theories. But if you bring it enough, and you bring enough cases, they're hoping that they'll find an in with the Supreme Court. The other debate that was going on, which is scary, is that whether the Judge Hannon can issue a nationwide injunction against DACA from Texas, as opposed to it just applying to Texas people, which would be weird anyway, right? So Texas, DACA are no longer Texans and have to be deported, but everybody else can stay? I mean, that can't be it. So I think they're going to make a bad decision here at the Fifth Circuit, one of many this term, that's going to have to come up to the United States Supreme Court and make a decision. If the Biden administration loses, they're going to take an emergency application out of Texas. They're going to have to get through one of the MAGA right-wingers on the Supreme Court in order to do it, and then see if there's 4 votes to hear and 5 votes to overturn a bad decision by the Fifth Circuit, which I'm anticipating. I want to manage expectations here. I don't want to blow smoke or sunshine. Look up there. You're on Legal AF. We don't do that there. We sit at the intersection of law and politics. We bring it to you straight. And I'm the chief curator, if you will, of this channel. And I take it as a personal responsibility to you to get these things right and use my professional judgment in my analysis and my commentary. And find out now what 40 million people a month already know. I think it's up to 50 million a month. Legal AF is the home of law commentary and analysis like no other at the intersection of law and politics. You can't find it anywhere else on YouTube, I assure you. Come here for that kind of commentary. You're going to find everybody from the Midas universe that you enjoy. Karen Friedman Knifilo, Dina Dahl's doing a new show with me called Unprecedented about the United States Supreme Court. We're going to do that once a week and cover everything that happens in real time there. And Court Accountability Action has joined forces with Legal AF, and they've got their own playlist. They're coming on 4 or 5 times a week, and they focus as an organization every day. Then when they get up and brush their teeth until their head hits the pillow, all they focus on is corruption at the federal court level all the way up to the United States Supreme Court. Come over and hear Alex Aronson and Lisa Walsh and Mike Sachs talk about these things and at the Supreme Court level, only on Legal AF MTN, the channel. Take a minute, oval button, hit it, free subscribe, and help us build this pro-democracy channel with your help. So until my next contribution, right here, Legal AF MTN, I'm Michael Popok, and I'm reporting. In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.